Yeah, welcome to another short video with Performance Navigator. In our last video, we talked about the creation of a report set, which can automate the production of either JPEGs or the HTML documents. I wanted to show you now how do you do the automation. And to do that, we use the Windows Task Scheduler. And here's a screenshot of the task scheduler for those who have not used it or not familiar with it. But it's pretty straightforward. You're just basically going to create what's called a basic task. And when we create the basic task, it comes up and says it's going to give you a name, and you can certainly give us any name you'd like. I'm just going to say perfnav. You could give it a description if you'd like. Perfnav monthly reports. And when you go next, and then you decide, well, this is automation. How often am I going to run this? In my case, I said monthly. We're going to do a monthly report. And so I'm going to say monthly. And what months, right? You could say we're going to select all that account. So we're going to run this every month. And you could certainly, let's say you wanted to run a monthly report once a quarter. This is sort of how you would to work on that, right? And then you select what time you're going to start it. So let's say you're going to run this at let's see, 00 at a.m. So you're going to run this at 2 o'clock in the morning on the first of every month. And so we'll just select this, right? So this is how you could certainly talk about configure this. Now days, you're going to say, which day do I run this on? You can say, okay, I'm going to run it on the first of the day and monthly. And I'm going to go back and we're going to run it on every month. And then we're going to go next. And what are we going to do? So the Windows Task Manager, you said, I'm going to start something, and you can certainly start a program. You can send an email. You can display a message. In this case, certainly we're going to start a program. Now, remember, you're going to start Performance Navigator. So one thing to remember, there's a run directory and a data directory. So by default, the run directory is program files x86. The data directory in most cases is program data. So we're going after a program. So we need to go to program data, and we're going to go to mid-range performance group, Performance Navigator 19, and we're just going to select the program. So we have said that's the program we're going to open at 2 o'clock on the first of every month. Now, it gives you a chance to add arguments. So here's the important part. So in our case, we're going to be saving these graphs or HTML. So the option is pretty simple, save. If you're going to email this, there is an option called email. If you're going to print it, there's an option called print. So those are basically three options, but let's say save, space, and then the name of the report set. Now, if you remember, I used a report set called Chuck, and it's that simple. And this is why I remember I mentioned that you probably want to keep the name simple. And so I'm going to, save Chuck. So I'm going to start Performance Navigator, and I'm going to save it, and I'm going to automatically run a report set called Chuck. And then I'm going to say next, and then you can say finish. And if you look over here, you will see in this window, now you will see Performance Navigator. Right there it is. Now, what I would do the first time you create one of these, you can right click it and you can run it right now. You don't have to wait till the scheduled time. You can run it right now to test it just to make sure it works. Now, one thing to note, when you run it off of the Task Manager, it will start potentially a second copy of Performance Navigator. You can see in the background, I have a copy of Performance Navigator running, and it will start it and just go out and create that. And you can see there's the blank copy. It's blank, by the way. So, and it's that quick. And they actually did create that same report that I did in the last video, and that's how simple and straightforward it is. And again, you can create as many of these as you like, and that's how you start the automation.